Valentine's Day is fast approaching. This month is filled with pink everywhere that I'm absolutely obsessed with, and of course, love. You may even get cute messages from a secret admirer. But girl, today's video is not about that lovey-dovey stuff, those messages from your cute little admirer. Today, we are getting into the creepiest, most disturbing text messages real people have received. Make sure you stay until the end because I will be sharing two of my very own personal stalker horror stories from high school involving two creepy guys. You don't want to miss it. This video is all voiceover, so get comfortable, put in your headphones, and let's say this is like a podcast. Let's get into it. There's some creepy ass people out there. Do they not have common sense? Like, do they not think before they send a message or think before they speak? A guy who was my lab partner in high school wrote me a note that said, "I will kill you and make a sofa out of your skin." A few years later, he murdered someone over a computer. My friend died in February 2008. 2 weeks after his funeral, I had a voicemail, but no missed call. I listened to it, and it was from my friend who just passed. His message said, "Hey, call me back, bitch. Let's hang." Now this one is really creepy and disturbing as heck. "My death will be on your hands. Maybe I'll take you with me." At 2 a.m. on Christmas morning, I received a text from a number I didn't know just saying, "Help me." I called it back in case it was a friend with a new number, and I got no answer. I texted back saying, "Who is this?" and I never got a response. I had a stalker a couple of years back. He sent me a long, detailed text about how he would keep me in a cage and treat me / take care of me like I was a squirrel. I once received a message from a random number saying, "How's your show?" I was in fact watching TV, but I just deleted the message and kept on with my night. I got a text again around 10 minutes later from the same number saying, "Please don't ignore me. Ignoring me makes me very angry." I once got a text from a guy who was interested in me. I was walking home from work and he asked me if I was home yet. I said no, so he then drove my exact way that I walk home, and he sent me a text when he saw me. "Turn around, I'm at the end of the street." Now I wanted to save this one for last since it's paranormal and it is so creepy it's gonna give you chills. My wife posted this story on Reddit. This happened in 2012 to 2013 when we were living in an apartment in the city. My wife and I were out shopping one day when I noticed I had a missed call. I checked to see who it was from, and it was from our landline. We didn't live with anyone else, and my phone was brand new, so no one even had my new number. I had a voicemail, so we checked that. It was just the phone hanging up, quiet, and then the dead tone. Very weird and creepy. There's also a few other messages that I really want to include in this video, but I don't believe I can due to YouTube's rules. They're just very explicit. But I thought that I would share with you the time that I was being hounded by a guy back in high school who would not leave me alone. Was he a stalker? Somewhat. Was he harmless? He got really out of hand at one point. How about we call him Nick? So this is when I was in the 9th grade, and this guy was actually dating one of my friends at the time. We'll call her Jay. Jay knew Nick for years and years, and they dated off and on for a while. They eventually broke up, and she would introduce him to our friend group, and he was nice. I knew that he kind of had a crush on me, but I just didn't want to give him the wrong idea. He asked me out a few times, and I was like, "No, sorry, you're just not my type. If you're not Bill Skarsgård, I don't want you," even though I didn't even know who Bill Skarsgård was at the time. Anyways, so he used to burn CDs for me. Yes, the good old days when we would burn CDs, go on LimeWire. And he just, he knew that I was obsessed with Linkin Park. He knew Michael Jackson, Britney Spears, but he would put all these songs on this one CD and he would bring it to me to school the next day. He would leave it in my locker, or he would send me a message on MSN and tell me that he burned a CD for me. And he was really trying to have things in common with me, even though those weren't his interests. But he was, trying to get to know me, and I always kind of was short with him because I didn't want to give him the wrong idea, and I just had no interest in him. He was a nice guy, but he just wasn't for me. And then I don't know how he got my phone number. Now, at the time, this was not my cell phone number. This was my home phone number. He would call my home phone number every single day, almost every hour when I got home from school. He called me nonstop for a month or so. It got so bad because this is my home phone number. So my parents would hear it, my brothers would hear it, and they knew about this guy, and they're like, well, do we need to get the police involved? Because it's kind of really crazy. There was also this guy at school who I had a crush on, and Nick knew about him. So Nick then started to kind of take on the persona of this other guy. Let's call him Tommy. So Nick started dressing like Tommy. He started kind of acting like Tommy because he would hear me talking to Jay about Tommy and how I like him and how I talk to Tommy after school on MSN. And I kept making it clear to him that I'm just not interested. He's not my type. We really have nothing in common. He's just acting like he likes what I like, so I'll like him, and it just wasn't working. And the phone calls just wouldn't stop. He also had this really weird obsession with the Punisher. When I was rejecting him, he started taking on the persona of the Punisher, literally believing he was the Punisher. And he would make some weird threats here and there, but he said he was just kidding. It was really creepy, really crazy. But eventually, guys, he left me alone. He left my friends alone, and I honestly think he just moved away. I never saw him at school again. He was just kind of gone, so bye. Oh, there was also another guy. Let's call him Frank. Now, Frank, I think, was even creepier than Nick, because Frank, he actually lived close to my house. What's really creepy is he lived in that neighborhood where, if you guys know the story of the Men in Black on my channel, where they came up that pathway from that neighborhood back in the day in development, that is the neighborhood where Frank lived. He moved into in high school or whatever, because it became this whole neighborhood years after the Men in Black. And you could see part of his house from my house, especially in my parents' bathroom, which was the bathroom I always used to get ready for school, because their bathroom was enormous and just beautiful and amazing, and I love that bathroom. But I used to wake up every morning for months, probably a full year, from Frank saying, "Good morning." This is when he would send me text messages, and this was in 11th grade, I believe. So Nick was when I didn't have a cell phone. Frank is when I did have a cell phone. So he was actually sending messages to me this time. He wasn't calling my home phone. He would also spam me on MSN. He would send me good morning texts on MSN, and then he would send me good morning texts to my phone. When I would get home from school, he would leave me the creepiest messages on my MSN talking about my outfits that I was wearing that day that he wished he could tell me in person. But he would get very sexual and very gross about it. He would then continue on telling me on numerous occasions that he would stand in this one room of his house where he could see my house, and he would mention how it's a bathroom, which, if you've been listening, my parents' bathroom, where I would always get ready, and he would tell me that he can see me. But I don't think he did unless he had binoculars or something, because it's pretty far away unless he climbed a tree, because I lived right on, like, the forest was right behind my house where all the crazy paranormal stuff happened, the Shadow Man, the Men in Black, and everything. So yeah, I would wake up to messages like that. I can see you. Can you wave to me from out the window? And then maybe you can see me. Like, he would say the creepiest stuff. And then I would see him at school. And I always acted as if I never received those messages because I never replied to them. But he kept going every morning. He became my alarm clock. I didn't even need an alarm anymore. I didn't even need my mother to wake me up anymore because he would text me saying, "Good morning." And I never responded. Never. And I think that is so creepy if you're doing that for like a year and the person never responds. Like, why are you going to keep doing that? Eventually, he vanished out of my life as well, as he should. That creep. Another thing, he would comment on my YouTube videos back in 2007 under the secret account, but he would text message me or send me a message on MSN saying that's him saying those things to me. But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you have ever experienced anything like this, gotten a creepy message, a creepy phone call, maybe a creepy letter, whatever. It's giving Watcher vibes. Oh my God. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to follow me on all my social media accounts. And of course, give this video a like. As always, you rock my world, and the song lyrics of Michael Jackson. Hashtag team Birdie44. Hashtag buff with the runs. Hey. And I will see you guys in my next video. I guess you'll actually see me because this is a voiceover because I just kind of want to do something different, you know? I like doing voiceovers. You'll see me next time. I will see you guys soon. Bye.